Warning, the following build is rated C for cheesy. Hi there YouTube, this is the Magnus bringing you another Total War Warhammer online ladder battle. Today I will be using the vampire counts up against the Empire. Now this vampire build that I came up with really started with something I saw on Heir of Carthage's channel about the new vampire units. And I kind of took that and mixed it together with a previous build that we all know and probably didn't love, which is the Death Star. So I kind of put those together and came up with a new composition, and I tested that on the ladder for you guys with some pretty promising results, which I don't know if I like that or not. But the build is 2 skeleton spearmen, 1 skeleton swordsman, 3 Karn Wraiths, 3 crypt horrors, 2 graveguard with great weapons, the Sternsman, which is the Graveguard Regiment of Renown, 1 Claw of Nagash, which is the renowned Mortis engine, and 1 Helmengorst on his corpse cart. Now my opponent brings a slightly unusual build, I've got to say, as the Empire. He has 2 handgunners. He also has 2 flagellants, 5 halberdiers, 2 demigryph knights with halberds, one of which he is hidden, 1 light wizard on a flying mount, and Volkmar the Grim on his chariot. So he has the advantage of the hill position here. So I'm going to have to push up. And as always with the vampires, you're going to find yourself having to be pretty aggressive due to your lack of range and artillery and things of that nature. So the way you play this build is you start off with 2 lines of infantry. Up front you have the skeleton spearmen, the skeleton, and the Karn Wraiths. In the back you have your heavy hitters, which are your graveguard with great weapons and the crypt horrors, and you have your 2 chariots in the mix. And the reason why you start off this way is because you don't want to give artillery and missiles an opportunity to hit you while you're clustered. So once you get close to your opponent, then you're going to put in the attack order for everybody to kind of ball up, much like the Death Star. And we're going to go in here and engage. Karn Wraiths and skeletons go in to absorb the initial damage, and then you send in the big hitters to do the damage. Now what makes this build viable, and possibly extremely viable, maybe too much so, is Helmengorst's cart as well as the upgraded Mortis engine. They both have regenerative abilities as well as Helmengorst himself, so you have several spells that are regenning around you, and also the 2 chariot units have area of effect damage, which is going to affect everybody in the radius that you can see here, which is quite effective. A little too much of the word effective there, I apologize. But as you can see, my units are taking some damage here and there, but overall not much. Of course, you're going to be, I'm going to be using the Invocation of Nahet Overcast to get that area of effect. And other than that, it's incredibly simplistic. Just choose your targets who you want to focus down. So, for example, right now I'm trying to take out Volkmar the Grim because he's relatively powerful, and of course so he gets the leader bonus if I kill his leader or if he flees the field. So essentially you start off in lines, then you blob up and you just start pounding on key targets of interest. Range units are good to target, artillery, anything that does big damage, and that's going to give you a great opportunity to really put it on them. And again, you can see a lot of combat going on. The Empire troops are severely damaged, whereas my undead horde is in fantastic shape, and they're just gonna pound right in to everything they have. And it's not, as you can see from the timer, it's not gonna be a very long fight. Very early on, things start to swing in my favor. He does get Volkmar out for a little bit, so I just kind of work on the units that are fleeing, just trying to get rid of them completely, and to wrap up as much of his stuff as I can. So I want to get all these guys coming up. I'm going after Volkmar again, trying to take him off the field, which I do believe we do so here. Yep, he's down. His fancy cart covered in blood, and his fancy butt is on the ground. I have to admit, as I said in the opening, this is definitely cheesy, but you know, when I think about it, when you think of an undead army, do you think of a bunch of guys doing advanced tactics or grand strategic moves to achieve success? Or do you just think of, you know, what we're seeing here, which is a bunch of big, nasty, undead guys, ghost guys, monster guys, just pounding on everything they see, virtually without intelligence? And to be honest, flavor-wise, it doesn't feel that wrong. And I'm pretty sure we can work out a counter for this, but it is strong. I've tested this in several ladder battles against Chaos, the Dwarfs, the Empire several times, and I'm yet to lose with it. So it's definitely useful as far as chalking up wins, though it might anger your opponents. I didn't get any hate for it yet, but that doesn't mean I won't. So let's look at the recap. You can see that the Crypt Horrors do a lot of the damage. The Grave Guard do as well. The Karn Wraiths do some, but they're also your most effective sponge, unless there's magical damage. Helmengorst and the Claw of Nagash don't get a lot of kills, generally speaking, but that does not mean they're not doing significant damage, because they are. The Swordsmen are your meat shield, but they're the skeletons, that is, but they are going to do damage as well, and they're pretty effective. If we look at my opponent's army, there really wasn't anything that did well for him. His Demigryphs did nothing because I didn't have a whole lot of large on the field, and just because they didn't have the time to. The handgunners got murdered, the halberdiers got murdered, maybe one or two of them did okay. The flagellants, so far I haven't seen them used well, so I'm not surprised they didn't do much. The Light Wizard is much less powerful than he used to be. He's really only good for the net, and there's other ways to get that. And Volkmar the Grim I haven't played with much. So this is the build that I've come up with. I think we can improve it, so I look forward to your feedback. I'm a little iffy on what I'm doing with skeletons here. Maybe I'm better off bringing another Karn Wraith or another Grave Guard, or maybe there's something else, some Fellbats, to kind of take out missiles and stuff and distract artillery while I bring my men across the field. So if you have some thoughts on that, please leave them in the comments. I'm looking forward to discussing that with you. As I have more time to work with this build, we'll put together a counter. I have a feeling it's going to be Empire. Surprise, surprise. And once I have that, I'll bring that out to you as well. So I just wanted you guys to know this is out there. I wanted you to know that I was able to modify it and make it really effective. And, you know, keep an eye out for it on the ladder. Let me know what kind of experiences you're having. And what if you find a good hard counter, let me know as well. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you learned something, please like, please subscribe. I'm really putting a lot of effort out, and I'm getting a great response from all of you. I really appreciate it. So until the next time, this is the Magnus. Take care.